Hello and welcome back to my DTNH playthrough. It is Monday, May the 4th, and we are over here in my, I guess you'd call it a catalyst building, where I did majority of my work for the last few days. I think it's been since Tuesday since I made a video. There was a bunch of days without any real progress, so didn't really do much. I've just kind of been working on some stuff over here and kind of went on a rabbit hole. So we'll go over that now. So first thing I did, so just as a kind of reminder where we left off, I am aiming towards this guy right here, the Transcendent Plasma Mixer. As I left it, I had, I had crafted all this stuff, which none of this stuff's hard. It's the same stuff that goes into the Plasma Forge. I'm just working on being able to craft the main guy, which in particular takes just 2 million of each of the different catalysts. So quite a bit of this stuff here. The rest of the stuff on here is not really that big of a deal, except for these. These are really expensive. Now, it did take me a while to be able to craft the first one, mainly because I've been struggling with diamonds. So kind of got a couple things that'll go through. I was struggling with diamonds and infinity catalysts as my main two things. Last we left off, I had set up those space elevators, so we'll go over there. But essentially, well, we don't really need to go over there. What I did is I took 3 of them, or 6 of them, I should say, because I actually have quite a bit of infinity catalyst dust now. 42 million. It's not, and so now the more struggle is diamond. So unfortunately, diamond you can't get with the tier of drone I had in there. So if I were to go diamond ore right here, the actual GTNH one, you can only go up to a Mark 6 drone. So I did craft 6 Mark 6 drones and got those in there. So 6 of them are running on that. Though I did swap one of them out yesterday, but we'll get to that in a minute. So what I was doing over here in particular, so we've got my normal setup. Up on this next floor, you can see mixer spam. So the reason I'm spamming so many mixers is because mixers can't be powered with the laser hatches. They can only be overclocked. So all these we're going to receive 4 EU or 4 energy UEV energy hatches. Now I just have one going for each of the catalysts right now. I think I need to redo my math though, because my original thought was I'll do 16, 8, 4, and 2 for the different catalysts. That way I never run out. However, there's a very disproportionate amount of not crude, trains and catalysts going on here. So I may need to rethink that. But anyways, so it's just these running and just the first 4 because I was waiting on UEV energy hatches, and then I crafted them and then I used them elsewhere. So we'll get to that in a minute. The next thing was going to be setting up all these just to passively make the actual catalyst proper, not just the raw form, and just set up this, and including bringing over an Aquata reactor with Mark V fuel. Now, I will say, when I did start setting this up, I did not know about laser mirrors, so this guy is just literally bending the laser here. I didn't realize I've had access to those for... 1, I didn't realize they were a thing. 2, I've had access to them for a while, so this one and this one are completely unnecessary. And there's more around the base like that, but that's okay. So the problem I ended up running into, though, that kind of side-railed me from finishing all this, is that, if you notice, these aren't forming. Every block is in place, and that is because of the glass. I put the UEV glass in here for UEV laser sources and UEV power. However, to do laser hatches at any amperage, we need UMV glass. How do we get UMV glass, though? UMV glass. We need a fluid solidifier at UIV. Fluid solidifier cannot be overclocked, so we need UIV energy hatches. Get UIV energy hatches, we need UIV components. So I kind of left those ones just kind of running with the single mixer. And then I did come down here into where I just have the mass assembly lines and set up basically from this guy downwards are all the UIV components. And then right after that in a row, I did a UIV energy hatch, UIV dynamo hatch, dedicated ones. I always say I'm going to do it every energy tier, and then I never end up doing it. So I just knocked them out this time. But yeah, these are all the components with the exception of the fuel generator. Since I am currently struggling with Infinity and Diamond in particular, I figured I will wait to set that one up till I actually can craft it and need it. So that one's not down here, but the other 7 are. Nothing too special about these comparatively to any of the other ones, besides the energy hatch and dynamo ones are regular assembly lines. The others are all advanced because at the time of setting these two up, I didn't have UIV energy hatches available to me. But the rest of the setup's just the same as I've done. Kind of streamlined how I set them up to take up less space. But they are just, at the end of the day, fluid storage buses, input stocking buses, and output bus onto the output circuit back to the main circuit with one recipe a piece each. So yeah, that's all these. And so like I was saying, I set all that stuff up, and in the meantime, while I was waiting for that stuff to craft, because as I keep saying, I'm short on diamonds, I did decide to take another look at some of the ways I could improve the space elevator. Like I was looking into overdrive and stuff. Why is this die not running? We'll just do this for the moment. It should be running. Not sure what's up. Well, problems for later. And one of the things you can do is change the plasma out. Currently I'm running radon plasma. However, I did see that I do have this technetium plasma available to me. Now, the only catch is to make this plasma, which this will like double the yield side of the ore, so I do want to start using this. In fact, we go this diamond one that's working. We're gonna throw this in here, get more diamond ores going once this runs out. Now, what we're using that for, the reason I didn't have this before, so one, it's a Mark IV recipe. 2, you need this molten selenium, which is just like an ABS recipe, but specifically there's this selenious acid. Now, to get this, we basically need to take selenium dioxide and mix it with heated water. And there's a couple ways. The selenium dioxide, you get both. The recipes to get it, you need to use either this malachite, copper, chalcopyrite, or tetrahedrite. Now, all those, specifically the chalco one, we use elsewhere over in the slag mills. So the other 3 I had to pull off of the main ores over here and set up a little line to process them. Now, they basically come off, go to a standard macerator, ore washer, dehydrator, and then they kick over to these guys, which mix them with heated water that's being made in this fluid heater. And then that gets us this selenium dioxide, which then we can use for crafting. Now, I haven't transferred everything over because, well, now I've got plenty. So I did not have nearly enough before to keep up with the space elevator. I did try transferring, just made everything kind of stall out. So I moved everything back to radon plasma. But now that I see this, I think tonight I'll move everything back over, see if this process can keep up or if I have to scale it a little bit. Hopefully it does, because that would be nice. And then I'll be getting way more ores for my buck and can go back to one, get way more diamonds until I'm done using those, which once we get the transcendent plasma mixer, should be done with them, or what have you. So that was a side project while I was waiting on components to craft for setting up those assembly lines down there, which I did get done, which means I did get all the UIV components done. You know the drill. Simple enough. Actually, I think I'm going to leave these ones in here for later, just to save myself some time when I go for UMV components. I don't have to recraft these 7 guys. The next thing I did while I was doing that was went around and upgraded the random blocks like wire cutting, extruding, and all that jazz, so I can get UIV superconductor, which is this stuff. And then the assembly line. I basically have one assembly line right here that I use for all my above tier. So I came up here and overclocked this guy to UIV. I disassembled this guy because now I just use the Mega EBF. So this was my EBF I saved for when I didn't have enough power in my main processing, but this is unnecessary for me now because I've got the Mega EBF and I'm keeping up with that. And then the final thing I did was, now as soon as I hold this, I crafted my first UIV energy hatch, which puts us officially in UIV. There's no more kinda sorta there, we're in it, so that's really cool. I am pretty confident though that hopefully some progress can start being sped up a little bit, or at least be a little less frustrating on my end where I'm having these huge wait times, because I noticed earlier, I forgot I had everything auto pulling into here, that these 3 I'm all good on. I'm only 500,000 away on this transcendent exotic catalyst, so that's pretty good. It's not the best, don't get me wrong, but I can definitely put since my one goal tomorrow is going to be to set up that plasma mixer and make sure I can actually use it and start getting these a lot faster. Basically want to use the plasma mixer to get the other 3 plasma mixers that I want to build initially faster, so I can have them constantly running and making these 4 chemicals so that I can use them to speed up infinity, cosmic neutronium, hypogen, all that stuff. And I'm pretty confident I can get this by tomorrow and set up that plasma mixer. Now, obviously, famous last words. Who knows what'll happen between now and then? But that is the goal, and that's what I've been working on the last few days. Surprisingly short video for a Monday, let alone a Monday where I haven't made one since Tuesday. But I really haven't done too much random side stuff. I am sure there are random little things I've fixed throughout here. I know at one point I had a power outage, so I did finally up, for example, in main power, one of them to be on Nequata 5, because I actually didn't do that yet. And I've been going through trying to figure out all the random multi-blocks that I've turned off. It makes me really tempted to make one of those drone centers I never bothered making, but yeah. Well, anyways, I'm going to get back to working towards the plasma mixer. I hope everybody had a good weekend, and I will see you tomorrow, hopefully. Goodbye.